everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about Moon Knight and why it's only a TV-14. Now, there's been a lot of speculation made about it, and a lot of stuff has come out, and, I wanted to talk about this not that long ago, but I figured, it's just taking me a while to get around to doing it. It's, like I said, busy. But I figured now would be a good time to talk about it. So, it came out not that long ago. Not only do we have the rating on Moon Knight, we got a nice little TV spot on it during the Super Bowl, which was an awesome TV spot. Getting to see more Moon Knight, getting to see the cape, getting to see him, oh man, I'm so hyped for this thing. March 30th. I think it's March 30th. Is it March 30th or March 28th? One or the other. I need it here now. Anywho, like, a lot of stuff has come out about him. A lot of stuff came out about Moon Knight. A lot of, there's an, I don't think it's an Entertainment Weekly. Is it Empire or Entertainment Weekly? I can't remember. It's one of those two. I think it's Empire. I don't think Entertainment's even a thing anymore, but I think it was, like, they have their big, cover, that Marvel usually gets, and they were talking about how this is going to be a little bit more brutal, there's going to be a little bit more, physical, and that there's a certain sequence, and that at a certain point in the show, there's a turning point where it sounds and whatnot. Feige was talking about it, and usually we would pull back, at a certain point, but we don't pull back because we just let it keep going. And a lot of people took that as, oh my gosh, like, because right now with the whole news about the Netflix Marvel characters and whatnot, and in the Marvel MCU proper getting all those characters back. There's a lot of people, the people who want those characters to be a part of the MCU proper, and it's the people who want those characters to be a part of the MCU proper, so they want it on Disney Plus, so that it indicates that they are officially part of the MCU, and the people who want Marvel to dive into more R-rated things anyways, because that's just what they want, and and those people have their own divisions amongst them, because there are people who just would like to see Marvel. There are people who would just like to see Marvel dive into these departments, which is fine, Like there are certain characters, like I've said in the past that I feel like personally, most characters don't have to be R-rated. If you can't figure out how to do Daredevil and if you can't figure out how to do Daredevil TV-14 or PG-13, then you lack imagination. That's just how I feel. Because there's sure, the violence is pretty brutal, but it's a lot of stuff that can be shown. Like, TV-14 and the PG-13 rating, you can push those. You can show, if you took out all you have to do is take out the language and the sex. And just pare down the blood. Instead of showing Wilson Fisk instead of showing a guy's head fall down and show that his head was decapitated, you can have Wilson Fisk hammering a guy's head in the door, and you can hear a squish, but just don't be too graphic with the noise. We know that he decapitated this man. You have to play with sound. You have to play with editing. You have to play with angles to get across what you want to get across. You can do still some of those things. The only character that I'm not sure they can pull off PG-13 is the Punisher, because at the end of the day, he is shooting people with guns. Granted, I suppose that Falcon and Black Widow have been shooting people with guns for a very long time. Black Widow for a very long time in the MCU, and it hasn't really been a deal. So, perhaps you could pull off the Punisher if you wanted to. Jessica Jones is a bit on the rougher side because of the subject matter, but like I said, but in the hands of a great writer, of someone who knows what they're doing, they can fit that subject matter. They can find a way to make that work, because that's not overtly mature. The things that give Jessica Jones its R rating is the violence, the blood, the violence, and the sex. That's what gives Jessica Jones its R rating. The subject matter of rape and whatnot, of all the things that Kilgrave was doing, those things actually wouldn't have gotten its R rating. It would have been really. It'd have been very, hard to, it would have been such a tough subject for a kid to think about, but you can figure out a way around it. So a lot of people just hope that, Moon Knight would be this big catalyst to allowing all this shit in. And in my mind, I was like, dude, Kevin Feige, I've said it many times before, Kevin Feige isn't making an R-rated thing. He's the only thing that's going to be R-rated, and I'm trying to beat people over the head with this. Deadpool is not the rule now. Deadpool is the exception. Deadpool's getting its R rating because it already existed. Because it's a billion-dollar franchise that pre-exists, you know, being a part of the MCU. So they're just not going to rock the boat with that. They're going to just let it ride out because it's already done. But they're not doing that. And I knew with Moon Knight, even with the posters having a bit of blood on his hands, you know, and whatnot, you can do that. I think people, like, the violence on Moon Knight is going to be something akin to the sequence in, and I brought this up on Twitter, is going to be something akin to the sequence in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when John Walker, a.k.a. U.S. Agent, bashed that one terrorist, well, bashed that one guy in the chest. We knew that he bashed his chest in and murdered him. We saw the blood on his hands, we saw the blood, and we saw the shield splattered with blood. You know what I mean? And that's kind of going to be the level of violence. You can show blood. You can show blood, you can show the aftermath of it, especially on TV, because they can actually push it a little bit further on TV than they could in the theaters, which is why, like, if anything needs to have an edge to it, they're going to make it a show out of it, which is a smart thing to do. But you can push it even harder on TV, so there will be blood. There won't be buckets of blood, but there will be blood. There will be some brutality. But, like, it's just how it's presented and how it's done. Like I said, like, if you take out certain aspects, like, they're just, it's easy. It's easy. And, like, I knew that they weren't going to do this, but a lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people feel like they've been lied to. A lot of people have been expecting this to really be hard R and to open the door to hard R. But those people need to stop expecting that. Marvel Studios proper, outside of Deadpool, are not making any hard R properties. They know where they're... I've said it before, and I've say it again. If Marvel Studios got in the business of making hard R films, then they would be isolating one of their biggest, you know, customers, which is family and kids. They can't do that. Like, for them to make something R-rated is to essentially say, all we care about is the hardcore / comic book people, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason R-rated films have a hard time. There's a reason that the only R-rated films that have had great box office success, I mean, Logan had decent box office success, but there's a reason that the only comic book films that had great box office success are Deadpool, which was the greatest marketing campaign of all time by Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds went on the greatest marketing campaign for any movie in the history of Hollywood. Honestly, I would say. And The Joker, which had not only the added advantage of being based off of the most recognizable, most famous, some people would say the best supervillain of all time in The Joker, which that alone elevated the film to a level even above Deadpool off the bat. So I knew the Joker was going to make more than Deadpool just off of that alone. But then all the controversy behind it. People talking about this incel this. What is this thing going to, like, is this thing going to make people do things? And it was all on the news and it was all on this. There was so many factors going into that movie making successful. The majority of the time, rated R comic book films end up like The Suicide Squad, which was a good to great comic book film, depending on the day I wake up. Sometimes I think it's great, sometimes I think it's just really good. And that movie flopped. You know why that movie flopped? Because it was rated R. If it wasn't rated R, it would have made at least 10, maybe 15 million more dollars, and the narrative on the film would be vastly different. Well, not vastly different, but it wouldn't look quite as bad. And that's just the point of, and that's just it. And Marvel Studios has a reputation. They have a synergy, they have a thing that they have going, and they were not going to ruin this by just all of a sudden making Moon Knight R-rated so that we can just slot. The thing about it is the Netflix characters are probably going to go to Hulu. They're probably going to go to Hulu. And I don't believe Disney's going to merge Hulu and Disney Plus anytime soon. I think they're going to stay their own separate entities because it works for them. At least in North America, it works for them. So, I just wanted to get my opinion out there on it. That is why Moon Knight is not R-rated. One is because they can't do that because they need to think about more than just the hardcore and comic book fans. They have an entire... like I said, I made a video that I never posted about talking about the fact that the hard truth that the hardcore comic book fans and the hardcore Marvel fans have a hard time coming to terms with. They've had a hard time coming to terms with this for a very long time. Some of you still haven't come to terms with it is, these movies aren't made just for you. These shows aren't made just for you. These shows are made with you in mind. These shows are made with you and things that you have talked about and think about. Don't get me wrong, they do care. But these aren't just made for you. These shows and whatnot are made for everybody. That's Disney's kind of statement, is to make things for everybody so that we can get everybody's money. We don't want some money. We want all the money. And we're not going to make a rated R Moon Knight show so that the fucking family who has been getting together and watching our Disney Plus shows together go, oh, let's watch Moon Knight together, and some guy's brains getting bladdered on the ground, and now I can't fucking, my kid's traumatized because I didn't know this shit was gonna happen like this. No, they're not gonna do that. They are not gonna push away like literally more than half of their base customers, okay? So that is why Moon Knight is TV-14. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Guy Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.